For 20 years, World of Warcraft has been a consistent mainstay on PCs for millions upon millions of players everywhere. In addition to that, we've gotten some outstanding armor sets and characters that people from all over the world have been cosplaying. Today, I'm bringing you guys two outstanding cosplayers who just so happen to be local to me, coming to showcase their work, talk about cosplay, and a little bit of World of Warcraft in this special WoW-themed episode for all of you guys here. Join me, my nice handy Frostmourne, and Caligos, who's hanging out right behind me, for this special Warcraft-themed episode. All right, welcome to episode 5 of Just Cause Wings. But we're doing a special today. This is the Warcraft special. As some of you guys know, World of Warcraft turned 20 this past year, and Blizzard's Warcraft franchise turned 30. And we're doing something fun. So we've got a couple of friends of mine that we have here for today's episode. And as I always say, while I can introduce you, it's better if you guys introduce yourselves, because who best to talk about themselves than yourselves?
Would you like to tee it off?
Me first?
You first.
Okay. I'm Roxas Paige, and I've been playing Warcraft for only about a year and a half, so this is going to be interesting.
As some people might know, I've attended the Washington University event and the 30th World Tour event, so some people might know me as Khel Cosplay. I've been doing cosplay since 2023, technically 2019, but I had a cosplay snafu that didn't allow me to wear it in 2019, so technically we'll call it 2023.
Alright, so as always, we've got a variety of wings in front of us, and I love when I get to be at home to do these episodes because I love to cook and I love to make creative wings. And where it's Warcraft themed, gotta be real creative, so we're gonna kick things off with our Blizzard wings, aka Korean fried snow wings. So I'm gonna have you guys each grab one of these. I will grab this one. And we're gonna take a bite, enjoy those wings, and then I'll get into the first question.
That's really good. That's got like a Korean barbecue with a flavor at the end. I can't place. That's real nice.
These wings I found by pure accident doing a show in Chicago. Had the wings there, tried to replicate them here, and I say tried, I actually succeeded because they were our best wing at Wingsgiving. But I had a few friends that messaged me saying, you need to try it with this. And let me tell you, you can taste it. So,
are you allowed to say what this is, or?
So this is, I can't even pronounce the seasoning that I put on it. It's this amazing powder. It's a Korean chicken seasoning that's got a sweetness to it. It's like a sweet cheese, and it's just unbelievable. I will have I'll post in the description where you guys can get it. So we'll kick things off. What got you into cosplay?
Actually, my grandmother bought me this comic book from a thrift store. It was a Rogue comic, and it was when I was 7, and that kind of gave me my step into the comic world. And then I always had fun dressing up, especially after Halloween. I'd keep my Halloween costumes and wear them all the time. And then I just got to a point where I thought, because I was doing a lot of like charity stuff, and I thought it would be really neat to have my favorite character be a reality for somebody else. I never got to actually see Batgirl in person. I never got to see Rogue in person. And so I started doing it mostly for the kids, and I had so much fun doing it. I mean, I used to get picked on for liking comic books in high school, and now I have turned it into something that I love, and I've been cosplaying since 2011.
I don't think I ever actually considered getting into cosplaying until I saw my first BlizzCon on the internet when they put it on, when they stopped doing it for just anybody that was attending, and they put it up as, you know, a paid pay-per-view basically event, and saw the cosplay exhibit and then the cosplay contest, and I thought, oh man, those costumes are really, really cool. Of course, there was, you know, Jaina's and the Lich Kings and whatnot, because this is early, you know, Warcraft. I think they were only in Burning Crusade or maybe Lich King at the time. Always thought that would be really cool, but what kind of got me into cosplay was actually Camu Cosplay's videos from way back early. She's been doing this for a long time. So that kind of, her step-by-step instructions on how to do things always made me feel, breaking down how exactly she does her cosplays always made me feel that it was possible for me to do my own. Because you look at something like Charlemagne, or you look at something like my Kingsmorn, and people have come up to me and said I would never be able to make something like that. And I thought, I used to feel the same exact way until Camu Cosplay's videos made me realize just how simple some of this stuff is. So I attribute a great amount of my wanting and confidence to cosplay based on her videos.
I'll tell you, it's been, this is episode 5. We've done a few episodes before that have been a lot of people saying it's a lot of inspiration from other people, and why continue on passing it generation to generation, because it gets people in it. They love it. They do it. And she's done a great job freaking just plugging everybody out.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get to the next wing, which is our Lok'Tar Wings.
Lok'Tar Wings. I want the big fat piece right there at the top.
And these ones are actually a Buffalo Ranch. I'll grab a flat this time. So dig in and we'll get to the next question.
That's got a slight amount of kick to it, but that's honestly what I would expect with a Lok'Tar Wing.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm tasting it, I wasn't expecting it to be spicy, but now that I'm tasting it, I might actually be disappointed if it wasn't spicy. It's called a Lok'Tar Wing.
Gotta have a little kick.
That salsa on top is it's a really nice addition to it too.
Yeah, just looking at it, it doesn't look spicy at all.
Looks can be deceiving.
Yes, it can.
Alright, so our next question is fun cosplay story. You have a fun cosplay story that you'd like to share with everybody?
It's not necessarily, I guess, a fun story, but I guess it's the one that I remember the most. I was actually helping a comic book shop for the first ever Batman Day, and I was dressed as Batgirl, and this woman showed up with her daughter, and her daughter just stopped and stared at me and then just completely bolted right towards me and like latched right onto me. And the woman even told me, she was like, I tried to explain to her that there was a girl version of Batman, and she did not believe me until she saw you, and now you're just everything for her. And I actually, after that, she got my information and stuff from the comic book shop, and they asked me to show up as Black Widow for her birthday party. So I showed up for her birthday party. I actually got a card from her afterwards thanking me, and I still have this little picture that she drew of me as Batgirl and her together, like those stick figure kid drawings, and I still have it to this day.
We had a we had a fun story when we were actually at 2023 BlizzCon. It was right after they did the big photo with everybody's cosplay at the fountain. And I can't walk very fast, so we were just kind of hanging out before we started walking around again. And I remember he must have been maybe 10 or something, 10 or 11. He ran up to me and gave me all sorts of praises about how cool I looked, and asked how I did it. And I told him this was all 3D printed. It takes a lot of work, but it's all 3D printed. And he had the biggest smile on his face, and he ran off to his parents. And then we could hear the same kid off in the background when he got to his parents asking, "Can we get a 3D printer?" So I felt kind of bad because I was like, it's more than just 3D printing. There's post-processing, painting, airbrushing, etc. But it was beyond
so
funny to
excited.
hear him in the background, just so excited. It's like, "Can we get a 3D printer?"
I'll tell you part of like why I loved playing a lot of the iconic, like, recognizable characters that I've cosplayed as over the years. The freaking reactions from kids. It's just like, I still to this day, I was dressed as Spider-Man, and a kid came over and just, I wasn't even paying attention, just poof, and I'm like, what the heck? It just, kids geek out. And then Warcraft wise, it's even crazier. I've seen some at shows, and it's just, they just love it. Like, it's...
the pure thing about that is that, you walk up to, you have an adult that comes up to you and they, say that's really cool detail that you did with the, whatever aspect of your cosplay, but the kid actually thinks that you are a Spider-Man. There's just a pureness about it. So it means a bit more coming from kids just because of the way that they react to it. Yeah, I can get that.
You also get reactions out of them too that you don't get out of adults. Like
you get the reactions out of adults too.
well, I mean, like there was I guess another funny story is I did KidsCon last year as Scarlet Witch, and this little kid was walking around as Cosmo from Fairly Odd Parents, and his mother had a little stuffed fish, and the kid was like, "Where's Wanda?" And I just turned around and went, "I'm right here." And the kid just looked at me and just started laughing.
All right, we got the next wing, which these are our Outland Wings. These are honey barbecue.
Take this big fat one right here.
I'm gonna take another drum.
You say Outland Wings, it immediately reminds me of those fell boars that you fight in Hellfire Peninsula.
Oh, I ganked a lot out there, and it wasn't the boars that I had to worry about out there. There was a certain elite that killed me a couple of times.
The big giant walking one?
Mm-hmm.
I said, when that was current, how could anyone ever possibly have that sneak up on them? Look how big that it is. It makes a giant sound, and the floor actually rumbles and shakes as it's walking near you. There's no way that you can miss it until it snuck up right up on me and killed me. I was like, oh, okay, I understand now. And then, of course, I wasn't going to go out without a fight. I actually turned around and tried fighting it for all of, half a second before it just instant killed me.
Which is funny because it brings us to our first Warcraft-related story. Do you have an embarrassing Warcraft story to tell?
Why are you looking at me?
We've got a couple.
I do? Enlighten me, because I honestly am only thinking of you having a problem with the way I play with a rogue. It worked for me. I got to level 80.
So, if we say that, it sounds micromanaging. But I was pairing over. It's her first time playing for a rogue. She's only been playing for a year and a half, and I've tried to approach it with a more of a caring, coachful approach. So when I was watching her on her rogue, I found that of the two abilities that she was using to fight, it was Eviscerate and Shiv. So I asked her, like, why are you using that?
It worked for me. I went from 0 to 70 at that time, wasn't it? Because that wasn't at 80 yet. And it worked. It was during Remix, Pandaria Remix, so okay, maybe I had a little help, but it worked for me. Yep. I got to 70 by only using that.
To your defense, I went from level 70 to 80 on my boomkin recently, and I hadn't done much of my boomkin, and all I was doing was spamming just the same 3 buttons. And let me tell you, as somebody that plays a mage all the time, It was fantastic.
See, and that's my thing. I started playing the game as a hunter. I like things with bows. It doesn't matter what I'm playing, I always seem to find the character that's got a bow. I don't know what it is, I just like it. So I started with a hunter, didn't want anything to do with the pets. I did not care. I just wanted to be a marksman and do that. And then I found out about Frost Mage, and now you can't get me to play anything else.
You drop all of our other characters, it's only Frost Mage now.
If you ever need help with Frost Mage, you let me know.
Getting better. See? I should have worn that stuff. I have my Void Elf shirt. I have my Mage shirt. I even have my Dalaran like Hearthstone necklace. I should have worn it all today.
All right. Now you've been playing WoW for a while, so you have to have some embarrassing Warcraft stories.
Yeah, this is a story that I've told many times, but the first time I ever actually stepped into a raid was during Naxxramas, rather the Lich King. And been in this guild for a little while, never actually done anything outside of maybe just a couple of dungeons, but they needed a warm body, basically, is what it was, and I was the only one online, so they tossed me an invite. We get up there, and I don't know if you remember, first zoning in, there is KT's cat Bigglesworth walking around, and it's attackable. And somebody whispered me and said, hey, go kill KT's cat. So I did it. And when you kill it, he starts like, KT starts shouting from the background about how he's basically, you're going to be damned to eternity of torture or whatever he says. And everyone in TeamSpeak starts talking about how I just made the raid that much worse because it's like a secret difficulty increaser if you kill his cat. And I was panicking. I was apologizing. I said, I'm so sorry. I didn't rat the guy out. But I was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to, like, I can step out if you want. And then a bunch of people start laughing. They're like, no, like, it doesn't do anything to the difficulty. And I was like, I was so embarrassed. But I didn't know anything about raids. I didn't step in it before. But that was one of my favorite ones from way back when.
Honestly, I don't PvE. Don't hate. I'm a diehard PvPer. So any stories I got, it's just me being dumb PvP wise. Never try to take on a full raid group by yourself. Doesn't end well. Unless it's in Thunderbluff. Alright, so let's get to our next wing, which is our Proudmoore wings. And I'll have to have you guys hand them down because it's just a little out of my reach. Alright. Snag one right there. These are, you might be able to tell from the camera, these are garlic parmesan.
My favorite.
Cheers.
As I make a mess over here.
That's why we got the napkins.
We've been making a mess the whole time, don't worry about it. These are quite good.
They're good, but so far that Korean one at the beginning, that's been
Korean one was
the best one for me.
Yeah, it has been the best so far. Hands down.
That one is truly like it's nuts. It was our top wing for Wingsgiving, and we had, I think, 15 different types of wings for that event when we did it.
That's a lot of wings.
Yeah.
He's gotten me into Korean food, and bulgogi is one of my favorite things to eat now.
I'm just happy we got a Korean barbecue place open up down the street.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about
That's
that.
good to know.
I'll have to check that out sometime.
All right, so our next question. What's the cosplay you're most proud of?
Probably, at the moment, I'm currently working on Illyria, which is probably going to be the one I'm most proud of in the end, because I'm doing such a lot of work. It is even building templates and things like that, because there's no patterns or 3D prints or anything of her armor, so I am doing everything by hand. But at the moment of ones that I've actually done, it's probably my Black Widow. I spent 2.5 to 3 years actually pulling that all together, going and looking at screen accurate items, buying things straight down to the Cobra buckles that are exactly screen accurate of what she uses. Made my holsters myself. Yeah, I just took all the time that I could, and I even learned to contour my face so that I had that Scarlett Johansson look. So it's probably the one I'm most proud of. It took me the most time.
I've only really ever done 3, so it kind of narrows it down for me. The first one that I tried in 2019 was Heroes of the Storm Anduin. There might be pictures out there of that I posted about how excited it was. I wish they weren't, because it was just awful. So that leads me to Corrupted Anduin is my most favorite. Corrupted Anduin is actually technically my very first cosplay that I've actually gone out and worn. And as my first cosplay, some people almost thought that I was almost lying, because it was my first cosplay. Now, granted, extraordinary amount of help from her post-processing trends, techniques that I've worked for her, techniques that I didn't. So I leaned on her knowledge and strengths enormously, but were also unique things that I had to learn as well. I had to learn soldering wires. I had to learn if I needed resistors on my wires because I had to increase the amps. Fitting things together. We built, it's not here with us right now, it's back at home, but we built Kingsmorn that actually, I had to go through a program and hollow out the runes on the shoulder pieces, because the print file that we bought it had the runes on there, but they were only recessed by like maybe 1 millimeter or so. So I had to go and individually hand. Oh, excuse me, that spicy is still getting me.
Oh, trust me.
I'm not
we ain't seen nothing yet.
That's what I'm not waiting for.
We sat for a while trying to figure out how we were going to get Kingsmorn's runes down, everything to fitting the wires inside of it, the battery cells that were going to be inside. You only have a finite space inside that blade. Mm-hmm. But the way that we made everything work and the reception that we got out of it, that is, I'm not sure. Like, I'm working on Terralion right now, who's got a lot of lights going on, but I'm not sure if anything I build is ever going to beat Corrupted Anduin.
Well, it's kind of perfect on the timing, because the next question that we're going to have, which ends up being kind of like you get to choose which wing you want to go back and revisit, is current and future cosplay projects. So we'll grab the next wing. You choose which wing you'd like the most. I think I know what one you guys might want.
I still have most of mine sitting here.
Shame.
Do you?
Oh. You know
We're not
me, though.
Talk about it.
You know how I eat, though. This is basically how I eat, and then I go back through.
She doesn't need another wing. She could just continue.
I could continue. Oh, what?
Snow wing?
Korean.
Snow wing.
Was that the snow wing?
The blizzard wing, yes.
Okay, yeah, the blizzard wing.
Which mine is right here.
Yeah, this is.
And I'm going to be honest with you guys, too. These are outstanding.
They really are.
I don't even know how I managed to get these to come back good.
Highly recommend trying his recipe out and making it for yourself, because this is worth it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That one is definitely my favorite.
Future cosplays. Currently working on Terralion right now. It's kind of nice because Terralion and Illyria are actually married in the game, and as where she's currently doing Illyria, it's really only kind of fitting that I start doing Terralion as well. That may or may not change. I've been following Anduin since Mists of Pandaria. By far my favorite character, so I have my own headcanon that he abdicates his throne for next expansion and kind of goes off on his own, which means his armor is changing, which means I have a whole new armor set piece to do. But I don't know until Midnight expansion launch is revealed. So for now it's Terralion. If Anduin changes his armor, Terralion is dropped immediately, delayed, and I will immediately start working on Anduin again.
Right now I'm working on War Within's version of Illyria. Eventually, I'll also work on her other look from earlier expansions. Another thing is once Illyria is done, or for the most part done, because I'm really just trying to aim for BlizzCon next year to actually have her done. If she's done in time, also Granite Con, but if she is not done by Granite Con, she at least needs to be done by BlizzCon next year. But aside from that, we've agreed that we're going to start working on our Halo Spartans.
Hey, all right.
My helmet has been sitting around for over a year now, and I finally finished getting it painted and got my visor in.
Yeah.
And now our helmets are up on the wall, and it's like, now we need our armor.
Yeah, we've got a couple of helmet holsters right above our bedroom frame door. But we've been wanting to kind of do our Spartan suits that we used in Reach, and we thought it would be a neat idea to take it to a children's hospital and do like a tour with that, and maybe let them wear the helmet or something. So that's just kind of like completely on the just do it for fun side.
It helps that I work for a hospital. So there's that. And then now I think I've kind of walked myself into Jaina, because I like building props a lot. That I will just build them, and I'm going to start building her staff too.
I will know some of that soon, because I plan to do BlizzCon next year, and I want to do my mage. And the staff, I've been researching for it, and we're going to potentially 3D print that. It's the Zardoom staff that came from Lich King. Love the staff. It's a Fell Hunter on a stick. It's the best. Yeah, I'm pumped, because the only thing I gotta do
which one you're talking about.
It's so cool. It's my go-to staff for everything. Like, I just keep constantly switching out, the design for doing the transmog for it. But the current season for mage gear for PvP, it's just, I love it. It's the best design, I think, in my opinion, that they've ever had. And yeah, I got to commission some stuff out for that. The shoulders, I'm going to work on with a buddy, as well as the gloves and the headpiece, but those robes, nope. Those that know me, I work a lot of conventions. Time is not something I have. Yeah. Okay. It's now time for our spicy question, which brings us to the DeathWing, which is fitting, because DeathWing is a character in WoW. So choose your destroyer.
Oh, I'm gonna go for the meaty one. I think that's this one right here.
I can be mean or I can be nice. Do I take the meteor one, or do I leave the meteor one?
I say leave the meteor
because
one.
What these guys were informed, I'll take the meteor one. I'll be nice. So we're gonna put this one right here. So our spicy question is going to be this. If you two were to duel in World of Warcraft, who would win? Now, I know you're saying that because you've got all the experience, because she hasn't been playing so long. So we'll change it up a bit. Who would win if it was a 1v2?
If it was a 1v2, who's the two? Are you the two?
I'm the second player. Oh, and we should cheers, because to answer this question, well, we need to take a bite. Good luck.
I
can already feel it.
Right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, this is bringing back memories of one chip.
I feel like Jennifer Lawrence on
Meanwhile, I just ate the entire wing.
Hot Ones. I'm going to be sitting here going, what?
I'll get there. I'm working on that first bite. That's biting the edge of my tongue. Things might be a little more... Things would be... I got it on my throat.
Sorry.
Things would be a little easier if we were doing, I think, Wrath era or earlier. Oh, that's spicy. Wrath era or earlier PvP, when you can CC somebody for a minute. Because with my monk currently right now, I can just throw her into paralysis and then try my best with you.
Wait, you used to get lifelines? Basically?
So you think if it was mist area or earlier, you could do that?
Man, that's hitting my lips. I don't know which expansion they moved it down from a minute to 8 seconds with a man, that is really getting my lips here and the tip of my tongue. That's
eyes
bad.
are watering.
Sorry, guys.
And the more I talk, the worse it gets.
Now, I want to point out, he was bragging about how he did the one-chip challenge, so he'd be fine.
I'm starting to sweat a little bit.
Take a little bit of water.
I don't remember when exactly they changed it from a minute to like 8 seconds with the diminishing returns, but they used to, like if I hit you with like a blind or a sap, it used to last for a minute. With paralysis, I could hit you and you'd be out of the fight for a minute, and then I could just hit you again with it. Now that it's only 8 seconds with diminishing returns, that's tricky because you get into the fight a lot faster. I haven't seen you PvP, so I humbly want to say that if it was a 2v1, I'd probably lose that.
I'm 2,700 on my mage.
Oh my god. Oh my god, yeah, that's so I'm going to confidently, humbly say that I would lose that. Because I think the highest rate I've made on solo shuffle is 1,600.
Yeah, I figured it might be a handicap because we were talking before. I was like, I don't know what Roxas's experience is.
This is spicy.
I didn't know Roxas's experience. So when Roxas informed me that he had been playing as long, I was like, okay, let's tip it a little bit more in the favor.
Yeah, I do know what I'm doing somewhat with PvP. I was maining at Rogue and Shadowlands, and Theater of Pain has that, if you're familiar with it, has that fight where it takes two people and throws them into the center to fight. I have a Warlock who's
Wings that aren't the DeathWing.
really, really good.
It'll help alleviate.
He's at a 3K plus rating on his Warlock. He gets we get heroic raid achievement every single season. He parses 99, sometimes 100. He's really, really good. And I danced around him with my rogue, and he was not happy. He took it. He was a good sport, but he was not happy about it. So if we were on a 1v1 with you and me, I think it would be interesting. But that second player is what kind of really tips that.
What was your main?
Rogue?
Well, Frost Mage.
I have danced with Frost Mages before. It's all about getting around them. If I get I might actually end up maining Rogue next season. If I do main Rogue, we'll find somewhere to dance.
This is the reason why it's the spicy question. Okay, so we're getting down to the last of it. If you had to say one thing to encourage cosplayers, what would it be? And do you need another wing? Because
I'm gonna go in for a second bite here.
I'm proud.
Oh, I'm sure my makeup is everywhere now.
Just don't touch your eyes.
I'm not. Just lightly patting underneath them.
Oh fuck!
Okay.
Just do it. I've seen a lot of people come up to me and say that they could never do it because of how skinny they were. Ooh. Of how skinny they were, or how large they thought that they were, or because they are missing a leg, or they're missing a limb. And I try my best. Oh, do you have any more of this? Nope. I try my best to tell them, it's just do it. It's all about the fun. There, if you would like, well, thank you. There are characters out there specifically that you can do because of your body size or because of your missing limb that nobody else can do. I saw someone doing a Junkrat cosplay, and he was really super proud that he could do the game accurate version of cosplay because he was missing his leg from his knee down. So he had, you know, the prosthetic made to look exactly like it and everything. I've seen somebody who is very large own their body type by playing Roadhog, and nobody else can actually make Roadhog look like a good Roadhog unless they are large. So if you are interested in playing a cosplay, you will always have strengths about your body type. Play to those strengths.
God, I feel like I'm gonna die. Just never give up. There are so many things that can go wrong, will go wrong. I am proof of that with especially working on Illyrio's bow. It has been a nightmare. I have started on it, everything's gone great, then something goes wrong, and I have to basically start all over again, right from the beginning. But by the time that you're done, you've put so much work into it, and the way that it comes out, you're proud of it. You've got it to show off to everybody. You may see your flaws, nobody else does. Nobody else cares that there is a thumbprint in your paint. I am somebody who is too much of a perfectionist. I will say that. He knows that. I will drive myself insane. While working on Illyrio's bow, I actually was taking the tape off and got the edge of my nail in the paint, and I was not happy about it. Turns out that it's in a spot that's going to be hidden anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I'm going to know that flaw's there. Nobody else is. They're not going to care. You tell somebody that you made it, they're going to be blown away just by looking at what you've created. There's always going to be, no matter what, I will tell you, high school never ends. There's always going to be those people who are going to say things that you don't want to hear. It's basically like, don't look at the comment section online. That's the whole idea here. You've done something, be proud of it. There are a lot of people that think so too. You are your own worst enemy. Do not let yourself get in the way and make you stop.
I'll add one last thing onto that, if you don't mind here. When we were doing my Corrupted Anno cosplay, she was my Roxas was my sounding board for all of my concerns. You know, when you make a painting, you know where every wrong brushstroke is. You know where every small flaw that you did something wrong is. And I was concerned that this was going to stand out. You would see it in this pictures and people would say something. And my entire time doing it, not a single person came up to me and pointed out that one spot that I thought was obviously glaringly wrong. Because people aren't focusing on that, People aren't focusing on that. They're focusing on how cool your cosplay looks. They're focusing on the intricate details that you've put on it. So, I mean, if you're doing like an actual judging cosplay, as you told me, the 5 foot, 10 foot rule. If you're looking to enter competition, it's certainly something to be concerned about. But honestly, I was worried about nothing.
And if you look at his Corrupted Anduin, that was his first real cosplay. First cosplay. He had a dream of literally just walking across the stage at BlizzCon. He made top 25 at BlizzCon. So with his first ever costume, you put the work into it, you put the effort into it, there's no question of what you can do and accomplish with it.
It's still dying over there.
It's time to take the breastplate off.
You're the one that wanted to eat more. I can finally feel my lips again.
It's fine now.
While that was, in quotes, the last question, we do have to address the elephant in the room. There is one last DeathWing.
I can't do it.
Ooh, that's bad.
And that DeathWing signifies something fun that we're going to do.
I'm so glad I'm going to win this.
What we're going to do for this last one is some fun little Warcraft trivia. I'm going to make it relatively easy.
Which still means I'm going to be the one to eat it.
So,
need more water.
Thankfully, I have a whole variety behind us. But unfortunately, it's after filming because we're almost at the end. So, the Warcraft trivia, we're just going to ask a couple of, hopefully, like, layup questions. And whoever answers them first, gets the point. First one to 3 points wins. All right. So the first question. What does STV stand for?
Stranglethorn Veil.
Got one. All right. Second question.
Should I go slower?
No, because I already know. With my year and a half versus 20?
18.
What's the ability rogues use to go invisible?
I played Rogue once and it's not a key I used.
Really? Oh my god. That's like how you use their openers and stuff.
That's 2. 3. I'm going to make these easy. What's the ability that mages have that allow them to become invincible? I should clarify it a little more. It's a frost ability that they have to stand completely still for.
I don't know the names of them. I just click the buttons.
Just click the buttons. I know what it does. Ice block.
Ice block. There's 3.
I will split it with you.
Die.
You take a bite, I'll take a bite.
Take a small bite.
Going right in for it.
It's like instant. There's no preparing
no.
for it. It's just right there.
There's no lead up to it.
Nope, right there.
Just bites.
All right, so promote where you guys can be found so people can check you and follow you guys out on social media.
I'm Khel Cosplay. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm going to call it Twitter. At Khel Cosplay. I actually just started streaming about 4 weeks ago, so you can find me Wednesdays and Fridays, 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays we actually stream together playing Baldur's Gate.
Yes. And I am Roxas Paige, and it is Roxas Paige on all of it: Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch.
All right, so we hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We will see you guys for episode 6 coming soon. So if you guys like this, definitely comment down below and make sure you guys check out all the different recipes because there's going to be some good wings up there for you guys to try out. See ya!